Yo people, this is my first video and I'm doing it on my top 10 must-see animes. Now this is my list. You can have a difference of opinion, but this is what I think. Number 10, I would have to say D. Gray Man. If you've ever seen it, it's really cool. It's about this guy who's an exorcist and he has this anti-Akuma weapon that he uses to fight Akuma. It's really cool, the story. He's the main antagonist or the Noah family, and as you read, you actually find out that he's a member of the Noah family, the 14th. And it gets really interesting. It's a great show. It's not groundbreaking, but if you're into anime, it's a good show to watch. It's also a good one to read. Number 9, I would have to say this is where the controversy would probably start. I'd say Fairy Tail is my number 9 anime. I mean, I like it, but it's just way too much like One Piece. They steal a lot about One Piece. There's a lot of fan service. Like, the main character, Natsu, is basically the dumbass version of Luffy, which is saying something, you know what I mean? That's saying a lot. I mean, he basically does the same thing, except he's the dumbass versions. The fights are cool. There's not, like, the character development's okay, but still a lot of One Piece. It's about fairies and magic. I mean, it's the Dragon Slayer stuff is cool, but it never really gets into it. Not yet, anyway. And like, if you read the manga, you know what I'm talking about. When it comes to the time skip, that kind of just turned me off. Like, I really think the only reason the artist did the time skip was because he really ran out of like villains for Fairy Tail to face. So he basically said, "Hey, let me time skip this, and then I can bring them back weak so they can get strong again," which I thought was stupid. Also, with Fairy Tail, the whole thing I don't like I know other people have said this too, like the whole thing that when Natsu fights, if he's losing, like he just beats up his opponent because the power of love or some shit. Like, I'm not watching this to watch like Harry Potter all over again. Magic is love is the strongest type of magic. That's bullshit. It's still a good show, but it could be so much better. So it's my number 9. Number 8 would have to be Hitman Reborn. I mean, it's a great show. It's a good show. Like, definitely recommend reading, watching. In the beginning, it starts off slow. You're thinking, oh, this is just a comedy. It's not gonna be that great. It made me laugh, and but like then it gets to the Faria arc. That's awesome. Like, that has a lot of emotions. I like it better than Fairy Tail because there's a little bit more character development. Still not groundbreaking, but it's a good time, good to watch. It's a type of fighting style you've never seen before with the flames and the boxes, so that makes it interesting to watch. It's real good for number 8. Number 7 would be my. Oh crap, what was my number 7? Oh yeah, number 7, I actually put Dragon Ball Z. The whole Dragon Ball Z saga, GT, Dragon Ball. Like, if we if we were talking about like top like fights and stuff, it'd be top 5. If we're talking about epicness, top 5. If we're talking about impact, it'd probably be number 1. But overall, when it comes to like story and stuff, Dragon Ball Z doesn't really have a story. If you really think about it, what is Dragon Ball Z? It's a bunch of epic fights, no story. Does anybody remember the story of Dragon Ball Z? No. They remember the characters. They remember Goku. That's about it. And they remember the epic fights, with no story. And also, one of the problems I've always had with Dragon Ball Z is like the Super Saiyans are way too OP. I mean, like, what are the humans even trying in the show? Like, why do Krillin and Junk even try when the Saiyans are just gonna murder you? Like, there's no point. And also, like, another thing that always really pissed me off, like, the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, becoming Super Saiyan was like incredibly hard. It was like amazing. Oh, you're Super Saiyan. And later on, freaking Go Trunks and like, what? Not Go Trunks, whatever. Trunks and to fucking Goku's second son. I forgot his name. They freaking become Super Saiyan like mad easy. Like, that's not easy. It takes training. Like, what the hell? So that's why that's number 7 for me. Great show, I mean, but just no story. I'm not watching it for the story, but still, number 7. If you haven't seen if you haven't seen Dragon Ball Z, then why are you even watching anime? Number 6 for me would have to be Bleach. This may be big news to people because Bleach is usually thought as the big 3, but like, for me, Bleach, it was great up to the Aizen arc. Then I really started seeing the problems with it. Like, it's a great anime. Like, of course you should watch it, but like after the Aizen arc, we got into the whole Bleach depressed thing in the manga and in the anime, and I was just like, oh god, can't suffer through this. There's a lot of fillers. But also, like, my big thing with Bleach is, like, for all the other top animes, like One Piece, Naruto, even Rurouni Kenshin, and even the ones I mentioned before, like, the main character always has a goal he's achieving. That tells you how the story's going to be going. Like, in One Piece, Luffy wants to be Pirate King, Naruto wants to be Hokage. Like, what does Ichigo want to do? Like, I don't see the point of the show. Ichigo doesn't want to do anything. So, like, the show can just keep going on, but there's no point. Like, what's going to happen in the end? Is he going to be, like, he doesn't have a dream to accomplish? So I don't really see where we're going with Bleach. So that's why it's my number 6. It has great fights though. One of the best fights would probably be from Bleach. So check that out. Number 5 for me, it's not the most popular, but I really enjoyed it, is Nurahion, or Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's a good show. It's got that One Piece feel where it takes like two usually negative terms like pirates and yokai and turns into like a good thing. Like, they're basically demons that don't want to hurt people, and like, the main dude, Rico, he's the head of the Nura clan. At first he doesn't want to be it because he wants to be human, but then he accepts his role and starts becoming like, the demon dude, and he does a lot of fights, which is cool. And he, like, the way they fight too, because they use like fear. So like in this show, fear is basically like the chopper or the hockey of the whole show. And it's cool how they fight because it's demon against demon, and like you got like kind of like exorcist type things with the Omuji, whatever they're called, coming up. Yeah, and also you got